I have more perks than there are stars in the Leo cluster.
I kind of wanted to wait a couple days after the movie came out because I didn't want to be like, okay, go watch the movie and then come back and watch this video, because nobody was going to do that. Also, just to point it out, I never thought in my entire life that I would get shit for saying that a video game that came out over 11 years ago made childhoods. Bitch, are you serious? Dude, this game came out when I was like a little kid. I am an adult now. I mean, I've seen tons of people throughout the fandom talking about, oh, you know, the 20-year-old me bought the tickets, but the 9-year-old me came to the movie theater. How is that controversial now? Listen, it doesn't matter now. What matters is I saw the movie on the 4th, and this is going to be my major spoiler review. I'm going to talk about everything, so this is your warning. First off, just to get the basis of how I feel about the movie before we get into the meat and cheese of the video, is the movie good? Is it better than the first one? Yes, it absolutely is. And does it do great with fan service? Absolutely. But the acting is not that great. It's sometimes really corny. Does the plot make sense? Some of it does not. But all in all, it looks great. You can tell that the actors are having a great time, and it's pretty nostalgic. In a weird way, it kind of reminds me of the old Iron Horse cinema films. I don't know if y'all remember those, but those were always fire.
Hey guys and gals, kids.
Labels on the south side of the building.
It's my birthday today. I like pizza. You like pizza? Pizza, there is a wonderful pizzeria there. And I found it one day. There was all these little kids coming out. Their bellies were bloated with pizza. And I was thinking, oh, I've got to have a bite of that. I had this pizza in the bag and I said, come on, little kitty, come on, little kitty. Do you think that pizza in there was good? And I'll show you exactly what pizza can taste like.
That was really bad.
Now that I went back to watch it, I think that Iron Horse might have done a little bit of a better job. But this is what I'm talking about. If this was the kind of stuff that was hitting the big screens, this movie would go insano style. But the problem is the new fans, the fans who were born after the games that already came out. Listen, I get it. I was 9 years old liking FNAF 2. Granted, it was a lot darker when I was 9 years old, but regardless. But this movie is not for the people that were born after the games came out. This movie is for the people who have been waiting since it was announced, when those kids you're catering to were being born. And listen, my baby sister loves FNAF. Guess how old she is? She's 10 years old. Okay, she was born after the games came out. And she still, as well as many other kids, is still not allowed to watch the movie. So now we're stuck in this stupid limbo of just bad enough to where the kids can't watch it, and just good enough to where the kids can watch it, but then no kids can watch it, and then we're stuck with a childish movie. But if you just went all out, and you went back to your 2015 mindset, this movie would slap ass. And thankfully, I think that they are kind of going in that direction. There was harsher language in this movie, there was more gore, and it was just scarier in general. So hopefully with the third movie, they'll put that final nail in the coffin and just be like, this movie is not just for the fans, but for the old fans who are now adults, so we can make a mature movie. I think it gives more room for better actors. I think it gives more room for an easier plot to make. Because Scott, as much as he has tried in the past, is not a kid's storyteller. This guy grows up on child murderers and tortured children. But with all that said, I was happy in the movie theater. I know it doesn't sound like it, but with the Spring Bonnie running down the hallway and the marionette carrying Charlotte onto the stage and Mangle being thrown through a window, the movie was entertaining. And also the Easter eggs like the UCN lines that Marionette drops, or the Shadow Bonnie in the corner, or the Circus Baby. That one wasn't really an Easter egg, that was just kind of insane. But I think what also made it better was being surrounded by people in that theater who had been waiting just as long as I have. Like, we have all been dedicated to this game for so long. I just think that if you played your cards right and added some serious 2015 lore darkness into this movie, it would just bang. But obviously, I knew it wasn't gonna do that. You know, I wasn't walking into the theater expecting to see something like The Shining. I wish I was. I wish it was like that, but alas, it wouldn't be. I also think that the movie was just kind of rushed. There's so many things in there that are just like, what? Like how the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 pizzeria is seemingly the most forgotten place on planet Earth. Meanwhile, Abby can bike there in like 5 minutes. Or where Vanessa's car breaks down and just conveniently Mike's friend just pulls up and is like, You need a ride. I think Matthew Lillard did great. I think he's probably the strongest part in the entire movie. I think the entire beginning of the movie is phenomenal. The flashback scene, I think that's the best part of the movie. Look, the FNAF movie is just such a big deal to the fandom that just give us one movie that's just R. You know what I mean? All in all, I liked the movie. I think the nostalgia factor was there. I think it looked great. Michael Afton's actor was a little corny. With all due respect, I think he could have been better. But it was good. Oh, also, Springtrap looks peak, dude. This shit gets me hyped for the third movie, okay? I know this is kind of a shorter video, but I really want to get the FNAF story video done. It's been kind of hard to find the motivation to do it, but I also want to get an analog horror analysis up and running again. We also got like 40 new subscribers last night from that one short I made about the movie, which definitely helps out with motivation, so if you could subscribe, that'd be really cool. Anyway, movie was good. Had a lot of problems with it, but it was fun. God bless y'all. Goodbye.